Hi, I'm Kimberly with Beauty by Sewn. Thank you so much for stopping and checking out the channel. Today's video is about how to do a smoky or more dramatic wearable eye if your eyes are quote unquote aging. So if you've got a hooded eye or you're finding that your two eyes are different shapes, one is a little droopier, they don't match perfectly, this video is for you. So let's get started and I can show you how to create a beautiful eye look that's wearable and brings out your best eye look. Okay, huge hugs, let's get started. Okay, let's get started. We are going to do a look using the Bobbi Brown Haute Nude Eye Palette, which is super exciting. This is a palette that is limited edition and it's also only at Nordstrom's. So I've done all my face. This is the box. I've done my brows. I threw a little lip balm on. I threw a little bronzer on. I've obviously got a tan, so I've jumped up a couple of shades in foundation. I'm right now a honey, very dark. So I wanted to just do all my basics so we could really focus on the eyes. So look at this gorgeous packaging. It is so beautiful. It's got this gorgeous, it's almost like a velvet cover. And then you open it up and look inside these beautiful shades. So you can see there's a mix of the mattes and the shimmers and sparkle and a deep. So you can create, as you can imagine, endless looks. So my focus today is how to do, you know, a beautiful eye look for more of a hooded eye. And as we get older, actually my dermatologist was telling me that your aging process happens on two different sides of your face at different rates. So my whole left side is aging faster or showing the signs of aging faster than my right side. So I find that as more and more women I meet who are, you know, getting older, one eye looks different than the other. And so I really wanted to focus on sort of how to balance out your eyes, how to, if you have one hooded eye and what not so hooded, you know, what you can do and some tips. So I always start all of my eye looks with a longwear cream shadow stick. And right now, because I'm a little bit more tan, I'm using a longwear cream shadow stick that has a little bit more warmth to it. So this is Sand Dune Longwear Cream Shadow Stick, which is super pretty. It's got a hint of warmth to it, so it's not going to bring out any gray on my lid. So if you have a deeper set eye or you're really tired, definitely stay away from any sort of gray base or a base that brings out ashiness on your eye. So what's great about so many of the Bobbi Brown Cosmetics eye palettes is that there's always an all over color and sort of a richer, deeper color that we can create for smoky. And what I love about this is there's this damask ball, it's called, which is this beautiful, as you can see, sort of shimmery shade. So we'll definitely be applying this onto sort of the brow bone and inner corner. I'm just obsessed with this damask ball glow color. So there are a few brushes that I always use, and if you know you're looking to invest in a couple of brushes, one of the brushes that I love is called the Eye Sweep brush. And the Eye Sweep brush, I'm actually just going to use in the cream shadow, and I'm going to apply it so that it's at my brow bone, and then bringing the cream shadow just into my crease. I don't like putting powder shadow onto my primer on my lid because then I find that I want some more payoff of, say, something shimmery or pigmented or sparkly, and I want it to stick to the cream shadow, not lay on top of a powder, which diffuses the payoff. So I really like just doing the cream or matte sort of all over nude color that is gonna highlight my brow bone. Also is gonna blend to the crease. So when I do blend my crease, powder on powder will be much smoother. So that is my cream shadow all over. And I only ever use this Eye Sweep brush with all over colors like a cream. So I put this brush away. So it is definitely, I call it almost like a blank brush. Even if you need to blend a little bit more, we might go back to it. Now another brush I love to use is the eyeshadow brush. And when I look at my eyes, you can see my left eye droops more than my right eye. So how we want to offset that is I actually want to build up my crease higher. So I'm going to use one of the matte shades to create a little bit of definition. And this is a beautiful shade I'm obsessed with. It's called Rose Suede. So it's a deepy, almost mauve-y rose tone. And I'm going to start on my droopier side. And I'm going to go off my arch. And I'm going to apply the color right along my crease with my eye open. And I'm going to make sure that I'm starting off my arch. Do you see here on my brow? And then I'm gonna bring the color back and forth, just like a windshield wiper, and blend the color back and forth up along the top of my brow bone. So you can see right away what that does is it actually helps this eye to seem more open. And then this eye, you know, it's almost starting to match a little bit. So I am gonna take color and apply the crease color just onto the crease, not as high on this brow bone because this eye is already deeper set. So I'm keeping it more on the crease and the lower lid versus bringing it up higher on the brow bone. Versus on my droopy side, I'm bringing the color up much higher onto my brow bone, which will then help give the appearance of a bigger eye and help open up that eye. So can you see how that helped to almost level them out a little bit? Now, with this same color, and I just use the same eyeshadow brush, what I love to do is help to create shape of the whole eye. So I'm going to take more of this Rose Suede, and I'm going to take the color from the top of my crease and bring it down just to the outer half of my eye. And what I find this does, and my pressure has to be very gentle because the skin around my eye is becoming looser and looser. So I like to just keep it soft. This, you know, the stronger your pressure that you use, the more you're going to drag and have a harder time blending. So just keep the pressure super soft. I'm barely touching the skin. And I'm really just using the tip of the eyeshadow brush just to create a little bit of a shape there. Do you see that? So now I'm gonna take the same eyeshadow brush, come from that outer corner, using, you know, my eye is open, and using that bottom lash line as a definition or as a starting point. And all this is doing is just helping to create shape and open up my eyes. So the color is very soft. You're not gonna see a ton of color payoff, but it just helps to know that you can open up your eye and pull out your eyes, not using strong, bold crease colors, but even using something softer that maybe 1 or 2 shades richer than your natural skin tone, or a little bit pinker, a little bit warmer. Because I have this tan, I can use this more Rose Suede. So this would be a beautiful color, you know, if you're light to medium, medium to dark skin tone to create shape. If you're a little bit fairer or extra light, I would try and do that shaping with this Tool Suite, it's called. But always try and create that with a matte shade first. So now that I've got a little bit more shape to my eyes, what I want to do is I want to help build up a little bit more depth of color. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little bit of this vintage velvet with you could use the eyeshadow brush. I love using the angled eyeshadow brush. This is a brush from Bobbi Brown. And I'm gonna start again on my droopier side. And I'm just gonna bring that color into the crease. There you go. And then I wanna bring that also to that outer corner and then along the lower lash line, not all the way into the inner corner, but just sort of that outer corner and along the bottom lash line, just that outer half. And I am using such a small amount, they're super pigmented, so I'm just tapping the tip of the brush. Remember, the rule of thumb is that you can always go back and add more. So don't, you know, it's easier to add more versus try to take away. So I'm always telling people, you know, start off with a small amount on your brush and then you can go back and add more. So this is a beautiful wearable smoky eye that we're creating, sort of a dramatic eye, and it's focusing on how to do makeup if your eyes don't match, you're a little bit more mature, you really want to still have a little bit of drama, but you don't, you don't want to look so dramatic that it looks unwearable. So now what I'm going to do is, I remember that brush, that eye sweep brush, I'm actually now going to take that brush and it just has that cream on it, so I'm not even putting more product. I just want to make sure that the color at my crease into my brow bone doesn't sit like that line. Do you see how it's just sitting there? You really want to make sure that it's diffused. So I almost think of the eye sweep brush sometimes as a eraser. So I'm just going back and forth. And then I'm going to bring that brush into the crease a little bit, just again to help it keep it diffused. And what I want you to also notice is that I'm blending and keeping that color really on the outside half of my eye, because I don't want that darkness of color coming into the inner half of my eye. Remember, the goal of your makeup is to pull your eyes out and up. So I'm going to step away from my shadow now, and you can see here I'm not thrilled with that little bump on that outer corner, but we're going to solve that in a little bit. I am now going to take some gel eyeliner, and this is a new packaging actually that I'm testing. So I'm putting this onto my eyeliner brush. That's an ultrafine eyeliner brush. It's a little small synthetic brush. And I'm going to apply the Longwear gel liner right along the waterline, which is up underneath the lashes. So again, I'm just going right underneath. I have a few false lashes actually left from holiday. They were great for being away on a beach vacation. I'm not going to keep up with them for everyday city life. I think because I just love mascara, I love liner. I do use an oil to clean my skin, and you know, all those things you need to be careful of if you're going to keep up with false lashes. So I could definitely see somebody having false lashes if they weren't a huge everyday heavy makeup user, eye makeup user. Because I use so much eye makeup a lot of time, I don't know how long they would last. So now what I'm doing is taking this black ink Longwear gel eyeliner, and I'm literally going along my lash line, not worrying about trying to create a perfect line. I'm just trying to get as much black ink along my lashes without making sure that there's any space between the lashes and my liner. So here we go. I'm just going along. So you can do this with your eye open or closed, depending. I find if you move your eye vision away from the brush, you won't block your eyesight with the brush, and you'll be able to put on eyeliner actually quite easily. And doing your eyeliner with your eye open is, I find, much easier, because then you're gonna get a realistic view. So if your eye is hooded, I always recommend people to tilt their head back as far as you can, almost to the point where you're looking up your nose. And then you can apply liner, looking up your nose, tilt your head back, and you'll be able to see from your other eye how to apply that liner. You see that? So now what we're gonna do is I'm actually going to apply whatever's left into my inner rim. So if you have very small eyes, you may want to skip that step because it does make the eye look a little bit smaller. But if you have bigger eyes, or you really want your eyes to pop in intensity of the makeup, that is a step you can try. But if you're trying to sort of open up the eye, don't put liner in the bottom rim of your eye, just only apply liner on the outside, so along the bottom lashes. So now what I am doing is I'm grabbing, I guess this is my 5th brush. I did use the eye sweep, the eyeshadow, and angled, but remember you could just use the eye sweep eyeshadow brush I did use a separate brush for the gel liner. And then I'm going to take my favorite brush, is this Smokey eyeliner brush. And I'm going to take some of this spun silk. Look how pretty this color is. And I'm going to go along the top of the liner, the edge of the gel liner that I created, and do a little stamping motion to help create almost a soft smudged line that diffuses. Then I'm gonna sweep back and forth with the Smokey eyeliner brush up the lower lid to diffuse the color back and forth like that windshield wiper of color. You see that? Look how pretty. So you can see the difference. This looks a little more chunky and blotted, and this looks a little bit more diffused. So again, I'm going into the spun silk and putting color on both sides, and I'm going along the lower lash line, and then I'm just gonna go back and forth. Very soft pressure, because again, the skin on my eye is looser, so I want that color to blend on my lid, not get stuck and chunky. And the way to do that is really soft, lower, you know, low intensity pressure on your eyes. And you can always go back and add more. But again, you know, it's up to you how intense you want your look. I love to start with less and then go up to more. So now I'm gonna take actually some of this spun silk and go along my lower lash line and just smudge the liner. I get a little bit of fallout from the shadow, from the liner, and I just like taking a soft shimmer and blending that along my lower lash line, and then it all becomes very diffused. So let's go back to that eye sweep brush, and we're just gonna perfect the shape. And for me right now on this side, I need to make sure that that outer corner is nice and blended. So you can see here, it's nice and blended and a beautiful shape. So I find sometimes if you're doing a stronger eye, skip the concealer under your eye, because you are gonna get a little bit of fallout. I take a little bit of my eye cream on a Q-tip, and under the eye, I'm just going to wipe away any fallout that may have happened. If you have a stronger, you know, bolder hand, you may get more fallout than if you're super gentle and soft. You may not get any fallout at all. So I have a little bit of fallout. I did put some foundation under my eye when I did apply my foundation. But what I do like about doing this tip with a Q-tip with a little bit of your eye cream on is that I can make sure that that outer corner stays lifted and matches the corner of my brow for the shape, so that my eye makeup isn't pulling my eye down, and that in fact it's staying up to meet then that outer corner. If I brought my brow tail down to meet the outer corner, it would be a nice out lifted shape. You can always hear my Canadian accent when I say out. So again here, do you see I'm almost picking up the corner? Because I don't want it to pull my eye down. I want it to sort of lift up and out. So I'm going to apply a ton of mascara. I like to not apply mascara during these videos because it's exhausting to watch. So one little tip that I do like to do is taking one of this soft shimmery shades. So in this palette, there's the Champagne Toast. There is this gorgeous Damask Ball. So I'm going to take some of this Damask Ball and topping it right into that inner corner, just gently. You get this little lit from within for your eye makeup. Look how pretty. So it's very subtle, and it just makes the inner corner of your eye glow a little bit. So this is a great tip to do. You can do this after your concealer. You can do it before your concealer, whichever you prefer. And just make sure that it blends onto the lower lid and blends a little bit into your lower lash line, and it's not just sitting there. And then another little tip I like to do with Something Glow is taking a very small brush and applying just a smidge of it at where my brow hairs meet my brow bone. So I don't like doing a huge chunk of shimmer there. I just like taking a soft smudge of a shimmer and blending it right at where the brow hairs meet the brow bone. And it gives like a very subtle sort of je ne sais quoi, as I like to say, to the look. Helps to highlight, but it doesn't look too shimmery. So I'm gonna finish with concealer and put on tons of mascara. Definitely 3 coats, if not more. You can curl your lashes. And remember, wherever you've applied eyeliner, you wanna put mascara there. I'm not a huge fan of just mascara on an eye. I do like on the bottom lashes. You can wear just mascara on the top lash, or you can do mascara top and bottom. Just always, it looks best with mascara with a titch of eyeliner on the bottom lashes. So thank you so much. I hope you found this in-depth tutorial useful and that you picked up tips. Even if you don't have the Haute Nude palette, you've picked up some techniques you can use with, I'm sure, many of your palettes at home in your makeup drawer. Huge hugs and thank you for watching and subscribing. Bye.